Casino here. This is what happened at 1443. This is what really happened. This is for those in the know. Everybody else gonna be like, huh? 1440, huh? But that's neither here nor there. Now, here's the situation. Now, as kids, we're going back to kids, like youngins. When Bart Simpson was around, dudes was wearing Bart Simpson shirts and haircuts. It was looking like Canaan, right? So at that time, it was some younger kids that were twins. They might not have been twins, but they were young. One was big, smaller. They dressed alike. Now, I would take they was twins. Their daddy was a drug dealer, so that we were told. I never saw him sell an ounce to anybody or nothing. Never saw it anyway. We were kids. But around the neighborhood, he was the local drug dealer. Riding around in a Mark 8 with self-titled license plates. And people just labeled him, the word around campfires, he was a drug dealer. So that's all we knew. That was the drug dealer's house. He sold drugs. We never saw him do it. But that was it. And he had 2 basketball goals in his house. And he had 2 sons that he always dressed up. They was in nice, jogging suits, brand new Air Jordans. Soon as they come out, matching. Both of them got the same thing. They had matching haircuts with the part in the side. And they was going to basketball camps and everything. So, but, they needed people to play with. So he started opening up the garage and letting people in the backyard to go play ball with the sons. Now, when we playing ball with them, we really ain't playing with them. Some people come in to play with them because they want to get tight with him, because they want to go into the drug game. Other people came in there, we just have our own game on the side, on the other rim, because it's 2 rims. So, we come in to play our own game with the people we know, and nobody really playing with them unless the other crew is. So we never really played with them. So while we're playing ball with them, that's when one of my boys, he get into it with one of their guys because he just got a temper. Well, he just has a what we call the the take no shit meter. Yeah, he got that. That take no shit meter on him is like, he ain't taking no shit, and will set it right off. That's the same friend I was telling you about. And I'm like, man, you be dressed like dog. I'm not dressed for this shit. Stop kicking shit off. I got a good thing going over here, and you fucking it up. Because you want to go to war. For no damn reason. So he sit back. He's got his 40 ounce or whatever that they had. They sipping on the older cats, meaning the drug dealer. He's watching this shit because there's no fighting at his house, none. So this is in front of his house, which is basically his house. So that's how he's looking at it. So he barred him like, you can't come back. So him telling him he can't come back is telling like all of us in that crew, we can't come back. Even though we can't come back without him. The first person that does that is not down. So once that happens, of course, one of the people that went back and decided to play, like, man, hey, he got ball. I want to play ball. And he went over there. And that told us a very monumental thing as kids. He was not down. None of us went back. If he couldn't go back, we couldn't go back. If our boy got barred, we all was barred. That just was it. Even if we hadn't did anything. So we just didn't go back. But one of our friends did. And he started playing with them and doing all this other stuff. And that contrast, that leads up to today. Because now, the same person who did that is the only person that you really couldn't trust fully. And as an adult, 20 some odd years later, situation kicks off. So now he's hanging out with those kids who's the twins and all that. Now guess what they do? Sell drugs. So now let's say one of them name is TJ. TJ leaves my boy who decided to go back and play ball with them behind everybody else's back. Go over there and play ball. He runs over there and end up being besties with them. So he's the type that hangs out with the people who are the shot callers. He don't mind being the guy to bring them their purse, bring them a water. He don't mind being Jerome and them being Morris Day. So as long as he get to shine with him, he good. So as all of these things are developing, he's working for a guy named TJ. TJ's got to go handle some business out of town, but he's used to being around this boy, and he know this dude is too afraid of me and respects me too much. Even though I ain't did nothing, he respects me anyway. He's just a complete ass kisser. So I know he won't do nothing against me. He the only one I trust in this situation, more than my own brother. I'ma trust him. So he puts him in charge and said, hey, watch my car. Now at this time, this is a whole different age and time. He had one of those Dodge Magnums, whatever those cars were, the Magnums, all black, everything. Blacked out, tinted windows, rims black, everything, Magnum. So you got like a Dodge Magnum, kitted up, right? My boy's in charge of it. TJ's gone. TJ told him instructions. He said, man, you can drive the car, but don't go as far as the store. Do not leave the neighborhood in this car. I repeat, do not leave the neighborhood in this car. When you ride around in the car, keep the windows up because it's tinted. Just don't leave the neighborhood. Because what TJ wanted was for my boy to make him think TJ was still around. TJ didn't want nobody to know he was going out of town romancing the Stone because he went out of town with somebody else's girl. So that was a whole nother story. But that's the reason why he wanted people to think he was still in town while the girl was gone. He was with her. So he's riding the car and decides, I'm going to go out on a date. And I'm going to take her out in this nice, pretty car. It's slightly out of the hood, but what's the worst that could happen? My boy takes the car, smacks it in the parking lot, trying to park the car, because he didn't know how to drive this Magnum. Smacks another car with it, trying to get into a parking space. Now all hell finna break loose. Because while you at the movie theater trying to park and you smack this other car and you and him talking, you don't have any of the paperwork for this car. None of it. Police is finna come. Now you up Shit's Creek. Because he told you don't leave the neighborhood in this car. So he tells, like, the guys, TJ, TJ is his car, the car's in his name. The car's not even in his name. The car was in his mother's name. It wasn't even in his father's name. And he didn't even know his mother. So he had to call TJ on the phone, who's out of town, who's driving the car, and tell him where he was and what was happening. Because the police was going to impound the car if they didn't have the paperwork and saying that the car was insured, insurance papers and nothing, because none of that stuff was in the car. None of it. And needless to say, there was an eighth in the car. We didn't know that till later. So when he said, man, he was already worried about the little scratch that he put on the car and the other dude's car. They didn't even give a damn about that scratch or that. They gave a damn that you disobeyed what the hell he said. So he had to come back early from the vacation just to take care of the situation. So now 1443 is hot. And 1443 is the house where he stayed. Because now he had to leave the girl out there and come back, and she had to stay out there a couple days. And now when he comes home, all hell is breaking loose. Because the rumors was already, so I don't know who spread the rumors, but the rumors was already out that he was out there banging the chick anyhow. It could have came from my boy. I don't know at the time. He used to be cool with us until he went back over there and did what he did behind everybody's back. It's like, man, I ain't get barred. That's the kind of person he was. He was always looking out just for himself. Even when it was a group thing, he was looking out just for himself. He always was selfish. And this time it's biting him in the ass. Well, this time it's biting him in the ass because now TJ's coming home. It's an eighth in the car. The cops ain't found nothing. The mom came down. They didn't even impound it yet. They just went and got the paperwork on the car because he was just driving it. So my boy got his driver's license. He's put that up. He's got insurance on his car. So he's got his insurance card to put down on it. But he still don't have any paperwork on this car, even though they ran the paperwork, and everything else. So TJ called his mom. So TJ's mother got involved. Now the dad's involved, who's the real drug dealer kingpin. He wants to know why you got this goofy driving your car. Where's your brother? So the brother comes over and gets the car. Takes the car with him and said, yeah, we walked it down. It was an eighth in the car. And he didn't know that. My boy was riding around in the car. He didn't even know it was shit in the car. That shows you the level of goofiness that was flowing through his brains. All type of goofy was flowing through his bloodstream. Now, here's the lies. Because this house ended up getting raided, and one of the biggest showdowns in history. Because one idiot decided to run from the cops and lead the police right to 1443. And I kept telling him, people, that guy was a snitch. Because the same day he went down is the same day I got a phone call from that person. And he sounded very weird asking me questions that didn't make any sense for him to be asking me. I'm like, why is he doing this? And the thing was, he was trying to, very interesting. Very interesting. See, the thing was this. What he wanted to do, and it was very simple. His plan was, I can't snitch on somebody who will kill me. Let me snitch on somebody and give them somebody who I know won't kill me, or is an easy person I can. So he decided to give me up, because I'm no gangster, I'm no gangbanger. But if he ties me in as the kingpin, wow, then they can investigate me and say, hey, he's friends with him. This guy has a clean record. Yeah, he might just be the kingpin. It gives him less time. So he's doing all this lying behind the scenes, to the fact that he even called me to try to trick me into some lie for me to do something for him. And I'm like, one, I don't get these phone calls. So I'm just like, all right, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Never called him back, because I'm like, I don't know what the hell this dude was just trying to do right here. That was the most confusing phone call ever. I never got a call from him acting like that. That's because he was in custody. And he was trying to, the cops gave him a chance to try to lure me into a trap, to where I would be the fall guy for the pink kingpin. Yeah, I'm a boss legally. I'm a legal boss. I ain't a criminal mind boss. I'm president, CEO, and owner. So I am a boss. Facts. Now, once that didn't work, that eventually led to the raid of 1443. The police were able to find multiple weapons, narcotics, and everything. And my dumbass boy who liked to hang out over there, he was rousted up with everybody else, even though he did not do a damn thing. He had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and they did not pay for anything for his trial. His homeboys, the ones that he followed behind, he wanted to roll with the drug dealers. He wanted to roll with the killers. Right? They didn't pay a dime for you. Not 1 cent. So they didn't pay none of his trial, nothing. They didn't even talk to him during the case. 9 times out of 10, my personal belief is that they believed he was the one that snitched, but it wasn't him. I'm quite sure they know now, but at that time, that's probably why they didn't do it. Plus, he's not family. And you messed up their car before. Just worse, it was just awful timing. Awful timing. Now, there. Things aren't over just yet. There are plenty of things on the table. that others have to just flat out consider. Because they never did. Once this was over, that place was sold. And many lies was told about what happened. It was a shootout with the police, and some people dropped. No shootout. Nobody got shot. Nobody died. The person who they thought snitched, who was one of my boys, he's not the one who snitched. He didn't say a word to nobody. He didn't know anything. The one person that snitched was their guy that they dealt with, who was an outsider, who they let get too close. And because he had a habit of getting high on his own supply, that guy decided to give them up. And when he called me asking me to rent a car for him, something that he has never done in the history of mankind, I've never had a contact with that human being asking me to do any damn thing for him of that nature. And for him to call me more than anybody was like, for real? You calling me for this? Never happened a day in my life. I knew something was wrong, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, I hit you back. I knew I wasn't gonna hit him back. And he was already in custody. So, all to be cool and kick it, my boy lost thousands of dollars on lawyers. It cost his mom and his grandmother all that damn money because he want to hang out with the gangsters. Want to be with the cool kids. Want to be hip. Want to be what's popping. Well, what's popping now? What's popping now? Hey, let me get the, chicken wings, chicken pieces. Let me get the chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan sandwich or the dinner?
Dinner.
Soup, salad, or coleslaw?
Soup.
Soup.